1 second here. An ordinance to amend sections 325-8.1 through 325-8.3 of the municipal code to initiate a sewer rate adjustment that will increase total system revenues generated by rates charged to customers for service from the sewer system of the city by 3% effective with the October 2020 billing, to provide for billing thereof, to repeal the original sections 325-8.1 through 325-8.3, to provide for a time when this ordinance shall take effect. The ordinance has been read by title and is designated as ordinance number 2020-20, and the title is hereby approved. I need a motion to dispense with the statutory rule.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Beck?
Yes.
Hendricks?
No.
Singleton?
No.
Miller?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Alderman?
Yes.
Wilkins?
Yes.
Item number 8, resolution for
Mayor,
20.
point of order, you need to note that the motion failed.
Motion failed.
Okay.
So both those items will be heard at the next council meeting.
Okay. Item number 8, resolution for 2020-2021 property tax request different from property tax request for prior year, revoking resolution number 2020-36 approved on September 1, 2020. Greg?
Yep, this is just the adjustment resolution as we did last year, based on the budget as you guys proposed it and heard it at the last meeting. Me and Nick noted that this would come if you made any changes or anything like that. And so that's essentially what we have here. It incorporates your changes, both with the 1% COLA and also the adjustments to the Parks and Rec committee, or the Parks and Rec elements that we slid into the year next.
Greg,
So-
if we didn't pass the last two, can we even do this?
The last two don't have anything to do with property tax.
Okay, so it does, okay, gotcha.
So, yeah, all I would note is, I can address what you want. So you tell me what questions you want to answer about how the last things are going to play out. I can address that, but.
Well, on this, I guess I just want to make sure that the record reflects we're not increasing the levy.
Yep. The levy stays the same as it's remained for a number of years now.
Correct.
Any other questions or comments for Greg?
I'll introduce the resolution.
All right, the resolution has been introduced and is designated as resolution number 2020-37. Would like to move that this resolution be passed and adopted?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Beck?
Yes.
Hendricks?
Yes.
Singleton?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Alderman?
Yes.
Wilkins?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 9, an ordinance approving a lease purchase agreement with Cattle Bank and Trust for the financing of a 2020 case 621 GXR wheel loader and authorizes the mayor to execute all documents related to the financing agreement. Greg?
Just as it states there, this is us purchasing a new wheel loader as identified in the budget. We went out and got competitive quotes for the opportunity to do the lease purchase on this. Cattle Bank and Trust had the best rate on it, so that's what we recommend. We also have a trade-in on the old one as well, so that's kind of the deal with that.
Any questions or comments for Greg?
What department does this go into?
Street Department.
Any other questions or comments? Otherwise, I'd ask someone to introduce the ordinance.
I'll introduce the ordinance.
An ordinance authorizing a lease purchase agreement relating to the purchase of equipment for the use by the city of Seward, Nebraska, authorizing the execution of documents with respect to said lease purchase agreement and providing for the publishing of this ordinance. The ordinance has been read by title and is designated as ordinance number 2020-21, and the title is hereby approved. I need a motion to dispense with the statutory rule.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Beck?
Yes.
Hendricks? Yes. Singleton?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Alderman?
Yes.
Wilkins?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Again, this is ordinance number 2020-21. Would anyone like to move that this ordinance be passed and adopted as read?
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second, is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question is, shall ordinance number 2020-21 be finally passed and adopted? Please call the roll.
Beck?
Yes.
Hendricks?
Yes.
Singleton?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Alderman?
Yes.
Wilkins?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 10, ordinance amending chapter 355 of the municipal code relating to conditions for tobacco possession and use by minors and sale to minors. Greg?
This was an update due to a state statutory change that just changed the purchase and use age in the state of Nebraska to 21. I think that's also a reflection of the change that was made at the federal level, which is tied to federal funding. So for our purposes, the reason that we adjust it at the local level is for enforcement at the local level. When our police officers would enforce on this, they actually do cite them under the local municipal code. And so thus we want to make sure we accurately reflect it, because the other option would just be get rid of it and just enforce the state law. But we do use this for local enforcement, and so we make this recommendation. It was drafted by Kelly in his time.
So all the local convenience stores are already following this, right?
They should be, because the law's already changed at the state level, so, but we will update, if this is approved tonight, we will update all of their permits that are issued by the city as well, so that that's accurately reflected on their permit.
Any other questions or comments for Greg? If not, I ask someone to introduce the ordinance.
I'll introduce ordinance.
An ordinance of the city of Seward, Nebraska, amending chapter 355 of the Seward Municipal Code relating to conditions for tobacco possession and use by minors and sale to minors, repealing all conflicting ordinances and providing an effective date. The ordinance has been read by title and is designated as ordinance number 2020-22, and the title is hereby approved. I need a motion to dispense with the statutory rule.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Beck?
Yes.
Hendricks?
Yes.
Singleton?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Alderman?
Yes.
Wilkins?
Yes.
Motion carries.
This is ordinance number 2020-22. Would anyone like to move that this ordinance be passed and adopted as read?
Second.
A motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, again, the question is, shall ordinance number 2020-22 be finally passed and adopted? Please call the roll.
Beck?
Yes.
Hendricks?
Yes.
Singleton?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Alderman?
Yes.
Wilkins?
Yes.
Motion carries.
This is our last ordinance for the evening, so I need one final motion to make all the ordinances a part of the permanent record.
Move to make them permanent record.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Beck?
Yes.
Hendricks?
Yes.
Singleton?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Alderman?
Yes.
Wilkins? Motion carries.
Greg, city administrator report.
Yeah, just a few items this week. Civil service will meet in person with police chief finalists. That interview process begins tomorrow, continues into Thursday. I think those recommendations will be forwarded on to the mayor for further tiers of interview and background check and review. Parks and Rec, the biggest thing on that one is probably COVID related, and we did have a unified command meeting today with Four Corners Health. As you may know, on Monday, we moved into phase 4, essentially across the entire state except for Lancaster County. I did inquire with Laura on her recommendations of what to do in regards to our recreational programming, which is probably our biggest contact point with a lot of outside stuff and things like that. We want to make sure that the children that we're having involved in those are still remaining safe based on the recommendation. And she essentially said, just keep doing what you guys are doing. You have good plans in place. You're spreading people out, not having them all there on Saturday morning. We have 3 different dates for those activities. You can see my coaching mask that we wear at football when we coach football. And we do temperature checks and other things for some of the more integrated sports. And she said, just keep following that stuff. And so we'll do that throughout fall season. When we get into basketball season, we'll just follow what the schools use because we use all school facilities. And then wrestling is its own beast, and so we're still not sure what across the state's going on with wrestling. It's going on, but we don't know if there'll be any specific recommendations. And we'll follow the same ones that the high school uses, since we practice in their facility and everything else. On the street front, the biggest project going on right now are Waverly Road and East Seward. East Seward. I believe the contractors will be back out on site this week to do final grading and start pouring concrete on the roundabout. Cause I think they did some staking already out there and surveying work. And then they'll also be out doing some pour work on Highway 15 and Waverly Road for that final connection. Do some other accoutrements and other things out there, and then they're gonna open that up hopefully this fall and vacate out until next spring or early
So
summer.
after that's open, nothing else happens out there till next spring on Waverly?
Yes,
Okay.
it could, but it could be during school, if we could find a way to get the middle school bus traffic in and out, and provide them some, maybe some temporary relief. The contractor would like to get started in the spring when it breaks. So, but that'd be a discussion and negotiation with the school district over the winter. Other than that, I can answer any questions you may have about my report.
Any questions or comments for Greg? I was making a motion to accept his report.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Need a motion and a second, please call the roll.
Back,
Yes.
Hendrick,
Yes.
Singleton.
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Alderman.
Yes.
Wilkins.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, do we have any future requests for council agenda items or administrative action? Seeing none. Jonathan,
Yes, thank you,
what do we
Mayor.
have upcoming?
Yes, few quick items. As I mentioned at the last meeting, September 24th, we'll have a lunch and learn on topic planning for growth, no matter what. September 26th, we're planning to host our second drive-in movie at the Seward County Fairgrounds. We appreciate their partnership on this. And then also wanted to make the council aware, we're honored to be hosting the Nebraska Chamber of Commerce Executives Fall Conference here in Seward, October 7th through 9th. We'll be welcoming Chamber of Commerce professionals from across the state. We've been working closely with Four Corners Health Department. We've been approved for hosting this event by filling out their COVID-19 event and gathering safety plan. We'll be asking participants to wear masks, practice social physical distancing, and we'll encourage hand washing while providing hand sanitizer for use.
Is that here at the Civic Center?
Correct. Yep, so we'll have a similar setup to this, social distancing masks, very similar setup, but wanted to make you aware of that. And we're honored to host our colleagues from across the state. Councilmember Singleton had asked about us hosting the annual cleanup day. We have worked on that. We're happy to announce that we'll be hosting it on Saturday, October 10th at the City Horseshoe. We appreciate the city staff support of this event partnership, and so we'll be getting marketing materials out here very soon. We'll be meeting with County Commissioner Colbert to talk through some of the details on the funding side. So appreciate the support and encouragement to host that event. With that, that's all. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Jonathan. Next, we have strategy session. Do we have a motion?
I move the city council go into closed session with the mayor, city administrator, SCCDP, CEO Jonathan Jank, and city attorney for protection of the public interest and discuss the commercial rail campus development area, real estate interest, and to provide the city attorney with negotiating guidance for a period not to exceed 30 minutes.
We have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second, please call the roll.
Back,
Yes.
Hendrick,
Yes.
Singleton.
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Alderman.
Yes.
Wilkins.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The council is voted to go into closed session for protection of the public interest and to discuss the commercial rail campus development area, real estate interest, and to provide the city attorney with negotiating guidance. We are in closed session.
No action will be taken.